What's going on, everybody? Payne back here again. It's been a week, and you know what? I thought it's time to drop a video, but this time we're going to do it a little different. This is baffling to me. All right, so listen, I've been playing Alchemy Stars, which is a fantastic game, by the way. So if you have not tried it or picked it up, I highly suggest doing it. I'm personally just enjoying this game right now and not doing content on it. I'm loving it. To be honest with you, probably one of my favorite games I picked up in a long time. And I'm not doing MHA anymore. As you guys can obviously see, I haven't put out a video for a while because I've started to notice a few things. And this is where I'm going with this. So today's topic, guys, is going to be gacha games or mobile games as a whole, where we're at, how we built this monster by supporting it, and how it's kind of going down the wrong path. But also, there's a lot of good things about it, obviously, as well, to accessibility, being able to access a game, you know, during times where you're bored or you're on a traveling schedule, or if you're flying, or if you're just sitting around doing nothing and you have access to your phone. Mobile games give us quite a bit of entertainment and obviously assist us in keeping ourselves busy, right? There's obviously other things you could do, but sometimes you just need to relax and enjoy a video game, and I get that. But I want to talk about, guys, some of the things that have been going on with video games in general that I've played, especially specifically mobile games, and where the problems stem from. And I'm going to talk to you guys about the market and what we've done to accelerate this problem. All right, and I'm part of that issue, so let's talk a little bit about this. So first thing I want to talk about is the amount of freaking gacha games and mobile games that are coming out. So I was kind of going through this after getting Alchemy Stars just to see what the heck is out, right? And I mean, there's my recommendations. There are a lot of them, and I'm telling you right now, there are some games out there that are really good. I'm talking about console, PC quality games such as Genshin Impact, Arknights, you know, Guardian Tales. There's a lot of really good independent game developers out there who really do a good job by supporting their community and their gaming people. But then there's other gaming companies, such as massive ones, such as Bandai Namco, which is a notorious one, obviously, that we know about, right? Com2uS is another huge one. Netmarble is another really big one. So these massive companies that own these huge IPs are starting to kind of go downhill for mobile gaming. And I don't mean from a perspective of like development or graphics or storytelling or any of that. It's just more the customer service aspect. And the way it's become, and this is the scary thing about it, right, is the bigger a company gets, the less they start to care about their consumers. They're just pushing out content and titles, and by content I mean titles, specifically games, as fast as they possibly can to get as much money in their pockets from the gamers as possible. So they don't really stick to a schedule on one game because that's not what makes them their money. Their money are their quick titles. Now, mobile gaming specifically, if you are aware of this, is a easy market to get people into because of, again, I discussed some of these things. The accessibility. Everybody has a phone in their hand. Everybody has access to Wi-Fi. Everybody has access to data, especially in the Western side of the world and the Europe side of the world. It's easy to get, right? And the Asian side. I mean, third world countries obviously have a harder time getting access to this stuff, and they have way bigger problems than we do. But for us, it's just the accessibility that makes it easy. It's like going to get fast food, right? You can cook at home and take your time and make a delicious meal and enjoy what you put together, but some people prefer to go out and make it quick and easy because they have access to it, right? So this is the same thing with mobile gaming. So if you guys want to look at this, I'm on BlueStacks right now. If you go back to my home, these are the games that I currently was playing around with, right? Lost Ontario wailed, MHA wailed, Ninja Tribes, you all know the history already. So I'm going to talk about these three specifically and where their problems stem from. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about the market itself and what we've done to accelerate this insanity. So Ninja Tribes, you guys already know. The issue was the pity system, the lack of content, but they have a massive IP. So Bandai Namco brought this game out, and then they gave us all hope that a brand new Naruto game will be long lasting and it's something unique and new, and they built a community, or we built a community around this game. The problem is the community helped the game grow. You guys know this history already, right? The biggest issue with this one is, and this is where the market continues to grow, is the fact that there's no pity system, but because we fall in love with the IP and the characters, you know, we have history with these animes and these mangas, that when a game like this comes out, like Naruto, we invest ourselves wholly into it because of the IP, but not because of the developer. And that's, I think, one of the key problems in mobile gaming. We don't give ourselves a chance to really understand the game and know what it involves and what the future is of the game before we kind of dive in. And I'm notorious for this, and I'm putting myself on blast here as well too, that I support the moment I get into a game and I see that, you know, it's a huge IP, and I'm enjoying it. Very quickly, that high that you get from gaming kicks in, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to support this game, and I'm going to be the best at it, etc. Now, the competitive spirit of mobile gaming is massive, right? And I mean, that's gaming in general. We gamers, we athletes, competitiveness is what drives us, right? So this is no different for mobile games. So Ninja Tribes is huge for that guy. So that's one of the games. The biggest problem with them is the lack of content, and we allow that to happen. We continue to support this game. We continue to buy into the whaling. We continue to summon. I'm talking about myself included in this, obviously, when I say we, and nothing has changed from making the game any better. That was our fault right there. MHA is a different example. MHA is a company that has the game out internationally first, gives all the benefits to the international version of the game, and it comes out globally with a different developing team, and then just screws the global version. Now, this is something that happens way too often. Dokkan is known for this. I think Seven Deadly Sins was known for this for a little while. I think they've changed it around though. And there's other plethora of games out there that do the same. So My Hero Academia, if you guys don't know the history recently, in the beginning, they upped the pity system, right? So Tribes has no pity system. At least MHA had a pity system. So a lot of the people who went over to MHA were like, hey, at least there's a pity system, be happy about that. So the pity system in CN, which is the Chinese version, was 60. You do 60, or you do 6 multis, which is 10 summons, or 6 summons, sorry, with 10 characters. You get yourself a guaranteed banner character, right? And when they brought it to global, they made that 60 into 100. So that's already crazy enough as it is. But you know what? A lot of people were like, you know what? It is what it is. We're still going to enjoy the game. That was fine. That was strike number 1, though. And then strike number 2 was they started nerfing some characters, and the banners were different and the events were different. So strike number 2. And then strike number 3 was finally when they nerfed Endeavor, and the CN version was way better. And then they not only nerfed him, but they nerfed other characters and then brought him out and then lied about what they're going to bring out in terms of his card. So they made people spend money, and then they had to refund everybody with an apology letter. So at least they did the refund. A lot of people don't understand this. When you are looking to get a refund from a company, after you spend the money, you only have, I believe, 24 hours to do so. If you don't do it within 24 hours, it is an uphill battle to get your money back. So that is a huge one for MHA. They were put on blast for that, and they also had a lot of rating bombing and stuff, and just a lot of crazy other things, right? And then there's games like Lost Centuria, which honestly did a really good mix of both. So they allow you to whale a lot, but then they also noticed that a lot of people were complaining about the whaling, and they actually started providing a lot of events and content to come out to help you get legendary cards and other cards that you may be missing. So it's not as required, but the problem with this kind of game is it's all PvP, and everybody at the top end of the spectrum is a whale. And I'm talking about whaling up to hundreds, some of them probably have hit hundreds of thousands of dollars at this point, and it's pretty crazy how much people spend on mobile games, right? So some of you may consider me a whale. I pale in comparison to real whales. I kid you not. If you look at some of the whales out there in the gacha world, it's crazy. So with that being said, what is on the horizon for mobile gaming? Right now, I'm only playing Alchemy Stars, and I plan to do that, but I have pre-registered for some games. I want to talk to you guys about a few of these. So Diablo Immortal. This one I don't think is going to require a lot of whaling, I'm hoping, but it is a Blizzard game. It is their first time that they bring a marquee game into the market, so I'm curious to try it, so I am pre-registered for that. All right, Metrosphere, honestly, I may not do this. I think it's an MMO RPG game or a side-scrolling RPG game. It's probably going to require whaling, but again, same idea. They bring out cool characters, cool designs, and then they kind of sucker you into buying some of these legendary characters. I may just try for the sake of trying it, but again, I'm not planning to do that. So let's keep going here down the list. What else have I subscribed to? Let's see. So Battleship Apollo, some of these just don't make any sense to me. I don't even know why they're coming out and why they're, War of Survivors, I think there is a game out there like that where the ladies are the stars, and it's a war-based game. I forget. It's always on some ad. I forgot what it was called though. So you can see here, there's an NBA game coming out, which I assume is going to require some form of whaling. So again, here's the problem: you can buy yourself NBA 2K, whatever the hell we're at now, 21, 20, 22, for $79.99, and I promise you guys, you can do one multi. And that's more than the game itself. So this is kind of where the problem with gacha gaming is. But again, it's the accessibility, right? The accessibility, access to have your game on instead of a console. You can't bring a console everywhere you go, but you have your phone. So that's what makes this so unique. Like, what is this? What is happening right now? But yeah, see some of the things and other games I played in the past. So for example, here, Marvel Strike Force. I was a top global player for that game for the longest time. Whaled hardcore on that. Gave my account away for free to one of my alliance members. So they have that. Ace Defender is actually a really good game that I played. Completely free to play though on this one, and that was actually really good. The devs were incredibly generous on that game. So there are some devs out there that do something for the community in order to keep them active, because free to play is a huge part of the community. But when it becomes too whaley, they start dropping off like flies, right? And going to whaley, Raid Shadow Legends. Now this game was one of my favorite games ever, including Epic 7. I played the two of them religiously for about 2 years, and then both of them became way too expensive to keep up. Like, I'm talking about way too expensive. So luckily I was able to get more than I spent on that one, and I got it all back. But those are prime examples of games that come out with a lot of plethora of rewards to make you happy as a free-to-play player. And then when you get to end game, it's like, in order to keep up, you're gonna need to spend a couple $1,000s. So that's another huge one there. Guardian Tales, I can tell you now, guys, easily one of the best free-to-play games out there. And if you're a fan of Legend of Zelda, the old like Link's Awakening and all that stuff, highly recommend Guardian Tales. It's such a good game, and it's being kicked around as probably one of the best mobile games ever because of what it offers you as a free-to-play player. So let's talk a little bit about the industry. Alright guys, so here is a website that I was researching a little bit. So I wanted to know how much money, like I've put in some money into gaming obviously, and I know I have. How much did I dent the market myself? And I'm telling you right now, like I said to you before, if you think I'm a whale, there's people out there that do a staggering amount. Now this is obviously gaming in general, but there is a section here for mobile games specifically, and this is what I want to cover. Now this is a 1-year-old statistic, okay? And obviously the trend has grown even further now with COVID hitting, people being at home a lot more often and on their phones, communicating, using technology to get a hold of people. That also translates to more gamers on mobile phones. So let's talk a little bit about it. So in 2020, the global games market will generate $159.3 billion, which is a healthy year-to-year growth of 9.3%. So there are 9.3% more people jumping on as gamers now in gaming. Okay, that is a general situation. Now, this revenue includes mobile, PC, and console gaming, and the estimates are looking to be over $200 billion by 2023. Now, here's how crazy the gaming market is. If you combine every single professional sports revenue together, it still does not equal what the gaming market makes a year. Like, I'm talking about NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB. Put them all together, and it still does not even come close to how much the actual gaming market makes. So this is how much we as regular people, not professional athletes, not actors, give this genre a revenue. Like, this is how much money we make these people. Like, it's crazy. So it's not a bad thing. Like, the entertainment that comes with gaming, and again, this is not to bash the gaming industry. This is just to show you guys, open your eyes a little bit in terms of what we make. And specifically, I want to focus on mobile gaming. Okay, so we've been talking about this. So again, the mobile gaming industry will generate $77.2 billion in 2020, growing by 13.3% year on year, guys. That's insane. So this is a trend, obviously, that's available to the public. So you can only imagine professional, giant, massive, multi-billion-dollar companies who are in the mobile gaming industry, or even small developers. They probably have their own analysis. Probably they have their own statistics and trending that they do, and they probably see the growth. And they're following the market trend. And this is what I mean by we've created a monster. We've given this genre or the mobile gaming industry so much revenue that they're now able to do the things that they do. In the beginning, when they came out, things were a lot more FTP friendly. Things were a lot more geared towards dolphins and people who are light spenders. Now it's like, yo, you want to get the legendary character, you want to get that character you've been waiting for, so specifically Gacha games, you're going to have to spend up to like $700 to get that character, right? And if you really think about it, that is a PS5 plus 2 controllers plus a game. Like, that'll last you. Like, here's how crazy it is. I'm going to break this down to you guys. I play Final Fantasy 14 right now, right? Okay, so the game itself, if you want to buy the whole bundle, including every expansion pack, I think is on sale for $50. $50. Subscription costs you $9.99 USD a month. $9.99 USD a month, okay? Right now, you can go from the first game to the first expansion, which is over 300 hours. That's right, 300 hours of actual gameplay, including storyline, side quests, dungeons, etc., for free. right now for free, guys. And we're talking about the best MMO out there, period. Like, I don't care. I know a lot of WoW people say I played both games religiously for quite some time, and I always go back to Final Fantasy because it is more geared towards storytelling. It's geared towards graphics. It's geared towards gameplay. The community is a lot friendlier, etc. Right? Anyways, that's not the point of this. The point is, you can get yourself for $25. 300 hours worth of gameplay that actually gives you compelling storytelling and a vivid and deep system versus $700 for one character that's going to probably be useless when a brand new character comes out to take over their place, right? So it's just mind-blowing. Anyway, so $77.2 billion. So here's the reason why, and these are exactly what I was talking about. The mobile gaming industry has the lowest barrier to entry, which means more than 2/5 of the global population owns a smartphone, and many mobile titles are free to play. So you can get it free to play, but do you stay free to play? That's the question, right? I personally never do. I mean, this is the first time in a long time that I have with Alchemy Stars, but normally I jump into a game if I like it enough. In my head, I was like, I want to get better at this, and by better, you have to spend a little bit of money, and I want to support the game because the developer's obviously done a fantastic job. But I never sit there to think how deep into that you get, right? So mobile games as an alternative to PC cafes, which is absolutely true. It makes it so much easier, guys, for us to make a community such as Discord when you have mobile games, and you meet people all over the world with that, right? So, and the mobile development process is way less complex than it takes years to develop games. Apps are pretty straightforward. People can develop apps in months and get them out there quickly, and have a really deep system in the beginning, and then as people progress and they've already spent, they just they die out. So it's pretty wild, guys. So overall, there will be a 2.6 billion mobile gamers in 2020, which is just 38% will pay for games. So 38% of people will pay for the games. All right. So that's a pretty big number considering. And here is the market numbers. Okay. So in 2020, $77.2 billion, guys, is the mobile gaming industry. Tablet games make up 13.7% billion, and smartphones make up 63.69 billion. That is nuts. Like, you look at this, like consoles only make 45.2, PC games and downloaded games only make 33.9. I mean, like, it's just insane the amount of money mobile games will make. So here it is right here. Mobile gaming revenues in 2020 will account for 48% of the global market. That's including PC, that's including console, and it's just staggering. Now, what does that mean? What does all this mean? Why am I doing this? So I wanted to show you guys, like, I as a whale have spent a lot of money on mobile games, but I just want to show you guys the quality of the customer service. Like, this is what it comes down to, that has gone downhill because of how much we spend. Because this trending continues to rise, because they continue to make so much money and so much revenue on these games, the pity systems, the customer service, the care for the client, hearing the community, all those things are going out the window because people are just spending money. And if you have to make less effort, and it's all return on investment, this is all it's based on, guys. It's a simple marketing analysis, right? If you spend very little and get a lot in return, you're doing the right thing as a business, right? And businesses right now are doing that. They're spending less on customer service, less humans are answering phones or answering emails or live chats. Less people are required to sit on desks, so that's a lot less money spent on that alone, on HR and heads. And they're spending a lot less on development teams, right? Which means you can have, like, I honestly still think there's a hamster that is running tribes, or maybe a monkey. Like, I don't think it's a real human being, because that's how easy it is nowadays, right? You develop something, you put it in, and people will spend. You'll see money come in left and right, and you'll make your money back that you spent. Probably more if your game has a pretty big IP. Which Naruto Tribes, for example, does, right? So games like that, and Dokkan has been around for 5 years. Like, that game's literally a collector. Like, I don't know, there's so many content creators out there that still do this game and make a killing off of it, and that game is destroying. It makes millions a month, and it's just baffling to me that a game that's that old can still continue to generate that much revenue. So, anyways, guys, the point is, if we want things to change, we're gonna have to stop spending a lot more on mobile games and really help smaller developers develop. Bigger companies that are making mobile games, yes, they have the bigger IPs, and yes, they are obviously bringing out things that we love in terms of characters, but the content is lacking. Like, and I'm talking about MHA. MHA did a great job, but the way they screwed the community around was huge. That's a big problem, and that's Sony, right? And Japan to Us, I think, is the other company that's part of it. Now, Enza Cryware is massive. and Bandai, we obviously know, is massive for tribes, have done nothing for the community. And people still continue to spend. And I've been preaching for people not to spend on tribes for a while now, but I think people still continue to do so. And right now there's a massive refund going on for My Hero Academia, and rightfully so. The developers at least heard the community, but they also noticed that they're rating bombing the game, and they're also asking for full refunds, and a lot of people are getting it right now. So they're obviously losing a lot of their revenue. These are the kind of things that need to happen for big companies and mobile games to stop screwing us around. Anyways, guys, I hope this kind of enlightened what's going on in the world in terms of gaming. I still think personally console gaming, PC gaming is the way to go. I play mobile games for fun. I started whaling on tribes specifically in other games. Other games I made a profit off of, don't get me wrong. But tribes, I did it for the community. I did it because I was trying to become a bigger content creator, and it worked for me. It got me where I wanted to go, and I know I helped a lot of people along the way, but I realized at the end of it all, it was a waste, right? Like, I'm not getting any of my profit back. But for me personally, as a content creator, I made all my money back through YouTube, right? And through whatever other means that I needed to get it back in this game. But for you guys, just saying again, and I've said this many times, avoid whaling if you can in mobile games, guys. It is just toxic. It can be crazy, and this is what happens. Like, you make a $77.2 billion industry occur because all of us want to support and play and get the best at something, but it really goes nowhere because there's always a new game coming out. There's always brand new characters coming out. The content, the patching always continues. There's really no storyline. It doesn't go anywhere. All you're doing is collecting and battling, specifically for gacha games, right? Anyways, guys, I hope this opened up your eyes. I know this is not a gaming, specifically a tribes video or any of those kind of videos that I said I would do eventually, but this is something I was really like what's really happening out there. Well, I wanted to know, and I wanted to share this with you guys. So anyway, guys, this is Payne. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little different, but hey, you know what? It's something out there. If you guys like it, I'll be doing more videos like this as well too, but we'll also be covering some other games. I'll maybe start doing some Alchemy Stars once I'm a little more comfortable with it. I've tested a lot of the characters. I'm at the last level, killing the content right now currently, but I just want to enjoy it before making content on it. And tribes right now, if you are focusing on that, ATB is out. It's going to be next to impossible with people dropping like flies. And the fact that they tripled the health again, and the links are crazy. I don't even want to talk about it. It's just so bad. But ATB is out, so I hope you guys are getting ready for that. And yeah, this is Payne. Have a wonderful day, everybody. We'll talk soon.